My name is katieeemann, and I want to do a little record haul today. I think records are so special, and I think they're fascinating in terms of how they're manufactured. It's one of those things that I can't fully wrap my head around, even after watching so many how it's made videos. But I have been collecting records since I was about 15. My brother was a DJ, so I got his old DJ equipment, his old turntables, so that's when I started listening to records, and had a One Direction, Crosley, I think, One Direction record player for Christmas one year, and it was pretty crappy, but it did the job. I want to do a little haul today and go over all the records I have. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start with the ones that I remember purchasing on my own. A lot of times I was like a mall rat in high school, and so what I would do is I would go to the mall with my friends and go to Barnes & Noble usually, or Books A Million really. And so a lot of my first few records that I bought were just some Books A Million records. I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and there's a local record shop called Kilger Trouts that I loved going to get some of the oldies but goodies. So I'm going to start with the records that I would have bought in high school from Books A Million. Okay. This should be it. Yes, so the first ones that I remember buying, let's see, the Lumineers. The Lumineers. Yes. This might be the self-titled album, but this was one of the first ones I bought, and it definitely cultivated my music taste. I think a lot of the music I listened to on records was incredibly formative to my taste in music now, and obviously nostalgia plays a huge part in that, but a lot of the artists that I listened to on vinyl were pretty formative for me. I have Adele's 25. There's just some funny marks on there. Looks like my cat chewed up the corner or something, and she's got a lot of good stuff on there. It's kind of not underrated. Adele's not underrated, but that album is just so magnificent. And then of course Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Like, I grew up on Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks, but I think having this record was super important, and I remember just always cranking it up and playing it super loud because we had my record player hooked up to this really nice stereo my dad gave me, and so I always played this, and my mom and my dad and I would sing it, you know, while my mom's cooking dinner and getting ready for the night. And so lots of good memories with this album, and it's just a fantastic album. Who doesn't love it? Now this, Vince Joy, Dream Your Life Away, this was so important to me. Like, I just have so many memories listening to this album. So it's really, really nostalgic. And this album's also great with Red Eye and Georgia. All I Ever Wanted. It's just a lot of good songs on there. And then this one's, excuse me, I keep sniffling. And then this one is like really awesome, and this one kind of taught me like the importance of an album cover, and for records specifically. Like, when you listen digitally, you kind of lose that essence of a vinyl inslip, you know? The art and the dedication it takes to the physical copy of music. So I think records are so important because you have that physical aspect of art combined with the music, you know, like the album art. So it's a little silly because there's so many, you know, 21 Pilots is I don't know, there's funny stereotypes with it, but I totally fit that stereotype when I liked them in high school, like a sophomore, 15 years old, super depressed, and like trying to explain to my parents where the name 21 Pilots came from and the cultural significance behind them, and, you know, just being angsty. And so I really got to do that with this, the Blurry Face, right? The Blurry Face album. And it was just really cool. It's a really cool cover. It's beautiful, beautiful, and it has this piece in it that you get to take out. See? And then that goes over it. And it creates the color, creates the whole point of the album. But it's that physical capability that you can't slide and see on Spotify, right? So those are ones that I would have bought in high school at probably like Books A Million. Now to get into ones that I'm like honestly not even sure where they came from, because my parents got rid of a lot of theirs, but these kind of, I don't know where they came from, and I'm like, maybe I bought these at Kilgore Trout's, but like I don't remember buying some of these. Oh, rest in peace to some small 7-inch. They were like Motown, and I'm an idiot and was like, oh, I saw some Pinterest thing where it's like paint a record, and so me and my friend like painted these 7 inches because I didn't understand that 7 inches are just as good. But you know, painted those and kind of didn't waste them, but kind of wasted them in terms of listening to them on a record player, because I mean they're a cute little craft, but lost those. So not really sure where those came from either. Probably Kilgore Trout's would be my best guess. But let's see, I've got Elton John, which maybe this is the self-titled, but really, really cool. Really simple, but cool cover art. I got Eagles, One of These Nights, which is an awesome, awesome record. Love the Eagles. Got to see them last year, so that was really awesome. Grew up loving them. Boston, classic, really cool. And like I said, I don't know where these came from, but being a high schooler, I was like, I want to listen to my new ones, right? And now that I'm older, I'm like, I want to listen to the old ones because it's so much cooler that they are probably the original pressings and they're pressed, what, 30 years ago, so it's kind of cooler or whatever. And then this awesome James Taylor one, which has a lot of like monologues and dialogue on it. James Taylor in the original Flying Machine, and I make a joke that like I literally look like him, like, hello. So, anyway, this one's fun. Has some interesting dialogue on it, which is cool. Let's see. I got this Harry Styles Just Watermelon Sugar 7-inch in like 2020, 2021 that came with a cute tote bag. So, it's cool. I think one side has like the vocals and then the other side has like instrumental only. Apologies, I'm so stuffed up. I think it's from all this dust. I got New York, New York by Liza Minnelli and Robert De Niro at a coffee shop right beside the arcade I used to work at. So there's this arcade I worked at with my best friends from high school, and we worked there every summer and winter break, and there was a really cool coffee shop like 2 stores down that I would go to on my breaks. And it was called Hi-Fi Coffee, and they had a bunch of stickers and records, and so I bought this one day, and I don't really know why, because I've never even seen it, but it's just cool. And it's probably from Kilgore Trout's, but it's Judy Collins, and I just picked it because I wanted to pick one randomly that just had a cool essence to it, and it was her because she's kind of so beautiful. And I wanted to pick one that just for the look of it without knowing any of the songs, and so I bought that, and it's a beautiful record. I need to listen more often. Now let's get into this. Pre-ordered the record by Boy Genius. I stopped buying records for a while just because like I didn't have a record player, and I've never had one of the cool colored ones, but this one's really awesome. It's like this super cool gray marbly color, and I love it. And there's this really cool thing at the end. It has this lock, this audio lock. So when Phoebe, she's in Letter to an Old Poet, she says, I'm waiting, right? And it locks on the, and it will play indefinitely. So they did that, which is a fun little, not Easter egg, but kind of. And another thing is, from the transition to Without You, Without Them into $20 is so beautiful on vinyl, and you don't get that on the digital streaming, so it's a lovely addition. Oh yes. So I moved to Charleston, South Carolina, and there's a really cool record shop called Record Stop, and they have one here and in New York. And I bought this awesome Billie Holiday LP, and it is so beautiful. Anyone who knows me knows I love Billie Holiday and like Barnes & Noble Jazz, which I'm not belittling her to Barnes & Noble Jazz because I know she's more than that, but it's just like that kind of mood that I adore, and who doesn't, but genuinely just love it so much. And it seems to be really freaking old. I mean, hello, like, yeah, it's a pizza box at this point, but So beautiful, and I'm so glad I bought that. Oh, pardon my French. This was on sale, so shoot, I'll freaking take it. Phoebe's Punisher, which anyone who knows me knows it. Phoebe is my favorite. Another like exciting part of like having a record and a slip with vinyl is the art, and so there's this whole beautiful, not coloring book because it's black and white, but lyric book with a bunch of beautiful illustrations for every song. And so it's like that's the kind of stuff you get when you buy physical music. There's I think it's called like, yeah, record day, World Record Day or something, but it's like artists will release like special edition vinyls and shops will have a bunch of deals, and so I had to go because I am, you know, into it, whatever. And so I got Simon & Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water, and it's great, and I like it, and I love it. And Boy Genius, cool about it, is inspired by Simon & Garfunkel, and I grew up listening to them. Alright, next up, I was in Atlanta for a Boy Genius concert. Okay, we get it. And I went to a really cool Columbia Records in Little Five Points, if anyone's familiar with Little Five Points in Atlanta, it's pretty cool. And got a John Coltrane album, which is pretty freaking awesome. I might get told in the comments, you know, if anyone sees this, you know, oh, well, that's what jazz is. That's technically jazz, you know. But what I'm gonna say is that it's not like some La La Land jazz, right? It's not Justin Hurwitz. It's jazz, where it's like they are technically on rhythm and on beat, but to the listener and to the untrained ear, it sounds stressful and unpaced. But to the artist who knows what they're doing, that's what jazz is. So it's a lot of that. To me, it's experimental, but I understand that's what jazz is. It's certain rhythms that I personally don't completely understand, but I enjoy listening to it. It like builds tension and stress, and it's a fun listen. Found a really cool new record store in North Charleston, Park Circle. I think it's called Gray Cat. And so I got Rick James Street Songs, which is just awesome. This one does skip a little, but majority of the record is good. It's awesome. And then I got Supertramp Breakfast in America, and I'm fascinated by sampling, and a lot of Breakfast in America has been sampled. And yeah, my dad loves Supertramp, and we have a drum set, and so we'll put on Supertramp and follow along and just improv the drums along to Supertramp usually. So really cool record. And then I got Paul Simon, Still Crazy After All These Years, and I think that this is such a goofy album cover, but it's really cool. He's just chilling. I don't know, interesting. And it's 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover is probably the most popular song off this record, and one of his most popular songs, but I love that song. It's so fun. It's so fun. And I'm a sucker for a singer-songwriter, so. My dad's song for me happens to be Hollywood Nights by Bob Seger, and so I've grown up loving this album, you know, since I was in high school. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Stranger in Town. So, got those. And then went into Record Stop again a couple weeks ago and got Bon Iver for Emma Forever Ago, which if it doesn't rip your heart out and stomp on it, then maybe go try to make that happen. Whew, yeah, emotional for sure. And then I got Led Zeppelin 3, which is just a fun cover. It's got a good few songs on it. Obviously, don't know why I'm saying that. That's a given. But what song is it? It might be Since I've Been Loving You. I don't know, but when you think of Led Zeppelin, you think of like rock, obviously, maybe some psychedelic rock. But there's a few songs on this album that are more bluesy, more of a Led Zeppelin blues sound, and I'm obsessed with that. It's very sensual, it's very musky. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what I'm feeling. It's like a jazz club kind of thing, a blues club. And I love that. It's darker, moodier. I think that's what I'm going for. And this one's cool. I didn't realize that it was, I'm guessing it's a newer press because it's this bright orange. And I had no idea. And it's pretty cool. So, it was a huge surprise when I opened it up and it had a cool color. Because I usually don't buy them like that. So that's my haul. I've been meaning to make this video for a while. Going on 9 years of my own little record collection, so it was fun making this. The dust from my records is getting to me, but thank you for watching. If anyone does, let me know which albums from my collection you enjoy and you listen to, and if you collect records. Someone pointed out that it's a hobby, and I guess it is. It's fun going to different shops, especially seeing the collections that they have. Maybe I'll update on what I buy next.